Hey, what's up, everybody? We got some price action today and Sunday. Like I said, man, Sundays are bloody days, and are as well. And this was a pretty significant move. So let's evaluate it. If we look close, we can see that we broke the low, which means this cannot no longer be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ABC like some people have it. Some people have it like that, and that's not. No, 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 no. That can't be. So, wave 2 cannot go beyond wave 1. So, what else is there? Well, we are definitely back underneath our trend line. We completely went back below it. So, instead of drawing it here, yeah, we go right about there. So, it is possible that the daily candle can shoot back up and close above. We shall see. But if you wanted to be a little bit more conservative than that, obviously we are under this downward resistance line, which in fact means that this descending triangle is very much in play. So if this is a descending triangle, then we should see something like that. And then hopefully that. So what's going on here from an Elliott wave perspective? Well, there is an Elliott wave perspective. If this gets broken, they say, oh, there's no Elliott wave there. Yes, there is. So let me explain. So first of all, we have to understand where we're at, and I'll explain that in a second on the smaller time frames. But where we're at on the larger time frames is very much bullish, right? You can just look at this chart, and you don't have to have a degree to understand what this means, right? Basically, this is the same as this, but way bigger, right? And you can see we are right at the verge of a breakout. So this is corrective behavior. So we have to wait until that correction is over. So the idea here is we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and now we should get 5. The alternative to that is 1, 2, 3, and this is 4, but it's a complex 4, meaning it has more waves to it, right? More complexity. So not only we have 3 down, but we have 3 up, and then this could potentially lead back down in 3. And that would create, a flat. So I don't know why people would suggest that if this broke down, it's like game over. It's not game over. This would be probably a running flat, and then we get something like that. A very good example of that would be another other than Bitcoin back right here. We can see that same kind of behavior right here. So we had that flat, we came up, and then what happened? We slammed all the way down to the low. So we had A. So instead of this being an ABC, we had ABC, ABC, ABC. So we had a 333, which gave us the flat. And then we continued higher, right? So remember that. Take a mental screenshot of that. Now let's go back to XRP here, right? And if you look, this could potentially be what's happening, right? So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3, and then boom. And then that would be how it looks. And that's exactly what I believe will happen if we break below here. Basically 250, 260. If we break below 250, 260, that's going to be the main idea. So yeah, but if we hold here, or now let's focus on what's going on here. So if we look close, we could see that there's a couple different ways to look at it, but look at this. So remember, you could say 3 down, 3 up, 3 down, right? Or you could say it's 5. It doesn't matter at this point. So we'll just say it's 5. Okay, so if that's our A, and then you could say, okay, then we have 3 up, that's our B, and then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down, there's our C. And we can say that. We could say that, right? But the problem with that is we already broke the low. So if this is a 5-wave move and this is a 3-wave pullback, well, we already broke the low. So this can't be a 1-2. So what I'm thinking is that a few different things, and let's just start with the first one. So right off the bat, I'm thinking that this right here, boom, 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 that is a running flat B wave. Okay, so we have an A, and then we have 3, and then you can say 3 down, 3 up, 3 down, right? 3, 3, 3, that's 3 down, right? And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 3, 3, 5, and that's a B, and it's a running flat. And now what we're getting here, ladies and gentlemen, is a 5-wave move to the downside. So we have 1, 2, 3, right? We're right at the low. We pump up, and then we break the low. We get everybody upset. Oh my God, we're going down, and then bam, we go up. So let me put that. Let me print that on the chart here. So we have A, and then this would be B, and then now we're coming down for C. And you can say, well, the shape doesn't look that good. You're right, it doesn't, right? Because typically with a B wave, you really want the B wave to come up here. So this was a very weak B wave, a C and B. So there we go. So we would look for 5 waves. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. Just like we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. So what we could actually do is well, before I do that, let's just take a look and let's visually look at this and let's see if it makes sense. Yes, it does. So that would even work as 3 down, 3 up, and then 3 back down. And then bam, we go up. So that's kind of the main idea right at this moment, is we still probably have some downside to go. Now, that is sort of the more conservative route. Now, if the low is in, you know, it's a challenging place to be. But see how we don't want M. See how we're getting an M. See how we're cupping down. We're cupping down. We're cupping down. We don't want that. We want to cup up. We want to cup up, not down. So to me, you know, it's really gonna, we really want to see how this reacts at the low here. You know, if we get a 4th wave, so like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then we'll know by the end of the week. Right? You know, today is Monday. It's Sunday, and Mondays are typically the most bearish days of the week anyways. So we will see how it plays out. But essentially, you know, if the low is in now, it's possible. It is possible. But I would think that this would go up in 3 like that. Right? Something like this. So we would have 3 waves down, okay, and that would be W. And then we would go 3 waves up, that would be X. And then we would come back down in 3, and that would be Y. And then we would go up. I don't think I've ever shared that idea, but I really like that idea, and it makes a lot of sense. So here's the 2 ideas. Idea number 1, we have a low but we end up having to go up and then all the way back down again, which completely wastes a lot of time. Or if we go 4, 5, and then this is A, B, and then C, A, B, C, A, B, C, and then we have a low here, we hold support, and then we go up, we don't have to come back down. So it's probably better if we just keep going down, 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 down. It's probably better, because if we shoot up, then what we're going to do is we're going to create a three-wave move. And if we create a three-wave move, now we're in the retrace levels again. And yes, it could break out of there, from there, but a lot of times it would have to come back down and then go up. And that would just be too many hits on the low. So I don't really like it right now. I'm a little bit nervous here. I have to tell you, I'm a little bit concerned. I really thought, we had a really good chance at this getting back up here. Because at least give us a nice B wave, something that's a little bit more prominent, a little bit more in your face, because there is a fractal that I hate to share, but let's take a look at it. And thank you, BCB. I think he's the one that shared this. So the credit for finding it will go to him, and we appreciate that. But let's take a look at, let's go to the daily here. Okay. So if we look, and you say, oh, I already know this. Well, wait a minute here. Let's add a little bit of crypto Brandon to this analysis, and let's see if we can think about it in a little bit of a different way here, other than a big scary drop. So first of all, let's zoom out on this. So I want to take a measurement of how big this wave was from top to bottom. Okay, first of all, this was a 16,000% move. That's the problem number one right there, 16,000%. Okay, Bitcoin or XRP only went up pretty much, really not that much. It went up not even 1,000%, guys. So there's issue number one right there. But essentially what this fractal suggests here is, let's do this real quick. Whoops. And now I'm gonna have to go back and try to find it. There we go. So essentially what we have is a flat. We have a flat, right? And then we have a three-wave move up. We have a three-wave move up. And then what did we do? We went into this descending triangle. Volatility stopped. This is potentially what's happening here. Volatility stops, right? And then continue down. So hopefully that's not the case, but we shall see. That's why this is a very very dangerous place to be at. So very, very much this week is going to be intense. So, I just would like a little bit more assurance from the Trump administration, like, yo, we're doing this, we're doing that. We got crypto bills coming. We still don't even have the XRP ETF, for God's sake. I mean, dude, it's already October. What the hell's going on? I mean, dude, what's going on? So we still have ammunition, and remember, this is a war. We're inside of a war. This is a financial war. This is an information war, right? This is basically who gets to control. This is why Trump and the deep state are fighting each other so incredibly, like going back 10 years, because it's all about what? Who gets the keys to the castle? Who gets to control the financial system, right? So, and that's why crypto is such a big part of this. And anyways, so if this is the case, then we have a big problem here with XRP, right? Let's go up to the Let's go there, and let's go there. So essentially, what we could see, if that was the case, it would be basically worst case scenario, right? It would be a move. It would be a 5-wave move, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way back down below $1. Probably around $1. You know, what is that? Let me just give you the exact amount here, and we're gonna look at Bitcoin, and we're gonna look at other things here. So we got 60 cents, 70 cents, yeah. So that's what that would mean. But I don't think that's what's gonna happen, because that's such a big drop, right? So if we look at the retrace, we still have to do the retrace levels. We went way down here. I mean, we basically went below the 886. So I could technically put it there. I'm just going to put it at the bottom. So yeah, look at that. The 886 right there, that comes in right at our zone. And that's where our support is. So worst case scenario, guys, you're looking at 60 to 70 cent XRP, which would be completely devastating. Completely devastating. But, you know, it doesn't mean we're not going to $10. It doesn't mean that. It just means that if that were to be the case, it would take significantly more time. So basically that would be, you know, the bearish side. Now the bullish side is that I still think, you know, where's our fifth wave? We don't have a fifth wave. 1, 2, 3, 4. Where's 5? We don't have 5. So if this is 4, we could get 5 later. And that's probably what could happen if we start breaking down further. Now, it doesn't necessarily have to do that. We could still be kind of flagging out here a little bit. You know, it does still look like a nice flag. So, but I don't like the descending nature of the flag, right? So if we look at the 12-hour and we take a trend-based fib extension from the top of this wave to the bottom of the A, back to the top. Now I could go here, and this is what makes it a little bit challenging. I could go here, or I could go to the top here. So I'm going to first start it at the top. All right. And we're looking at $2.45. That's where I would expect it to go if this is going to be a fifth wave. So, but you just said if we break below 250, you know, well, yeah, and that's the thing. If we do break below 250, you're right. It's going to be 3 down, 3 up, and then 1, 2, and then 3. And it's kind of a small 3. So, but look at the difference how big this 3 is versus how small that is. So is it in the same degree? Can't we say that? I mean, you know, it's subjective on that front. It's definitely in the wrong degree. But essentially, that's what we're looking at. That would be the main idea if we break this lower. Probably go somewhere 245, scare the living daylights out of everyone, and then continue up. So, and this is the issue. This is why, we were talking about Ethereum, because Ethereum was kind of running the show. And now that Ethereum gassed out, like I mentioned, this is the issue. But if we look at Ethereum, there is also other fractals we can look at. But basically what we have here is what we talked about, right? Which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. And then we have A. And then this whole thing could be B. And now we're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down for C. A, B, C. And then here's the thing. From there, we could take off, or this could actually get more complex. So it could be 3 up, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down, and then go. And then you're looking like towards the end of the year. So I still think this is going to be a bullish situation, because the main reason is the big time frames, which trumps everything, right? You have 3 waves down, you have 3 waves up, you have 3 waves back down. This is exactly what what XRP is on the smaller time frames, right? So if we look back at XRP for a moment, so let's go here. Let's take everything off the screen and let's make that bigger, and then let's zoom in to the daily, and then let's go like that, and then we're gonna go up to the 5-day. That should do it right about there. There we go. So what we have here is kind of the same kind of thing, right? So again, we have a expanded flat, expanded flat. We have a 3-wave move. We have a 3-wave move. Now, the scary part is this 3-wave move, did that end here? If it ended there, then ooh, that would be bad. Because then that means that this wasn't what we wanted. That's, instead of it be WXY, it would be WXY, which would completely suck. But, it's what it is. I cheer for hodlers. I cheer for investors. Yes, I can make money on the way down. Yes, I could short the hell out of it, make a lot of money. But I'd rather see all of us. I like when things are bullish. I like when things are moving up. Better for my investment, better for my hodl, better for you, better for everybody. I hate to see people get destroyed. I mean, not destroyed. As long as you don't sell, you're fine, right? And I've been through this many times. So, but essentially, what we have is, again, 3, 3, 3, 3, and then we have, look at this, 3 waves down. So this could be that right here, 3 waves down. And where did that 3-wave move go to? Well, let's take a look. This is why we love Fibonacci, because we can get a accurate reading. Well, geez, that went right below everything. Is this on? I'm going to actually put it on log scale so that it's a little bit more accurate. All right, so we actually nailed the 236. So what I'm going to do is do the same thing. I'm going to come down here. So that would be $1.93. Woo! Lord have mercy. That's a big move. $1.93. I don't know if that's going to be that, because this characteristics, the way it came down like that, actually is a little bit dramatic. So let's take another measurement. And what we're going to use is a trend-based fib extension here. And look at that. Perfectly nailed the 1.414. So where would that be? That would be right here. Boom, boom, and boom. And that's a little bit better of a target. You're looking right at $2.03. If it was going to do something kind of similar to Ethereum, right? Let's put that right there. There we go. And again, let me just draw it real quick. 3, 3, 3, 3, and then 3. And then up. All right. So that's basically it for XRP. Now let's take a look at some other stuff here. As far as the small time frames go, like the super small time frames, I mean, dude, I don't know. I like the capitulation, number 1. I like the wick, number 2. I like how, it was a big multi-billion-dollar liquidation. That's all good. I don't like that it broke the low, but I do like that it broke the low, because we call that a liquidity grab, right? Basically, it basically, people have their stops here. Everybody who bought here, where's all their stops at? At the lows. And what had happened? It pierced it just ever so slightly to screw them over, and then it comes back. So there you go. So basically, we have 1, 2, and this could be 3, and this could be 4, and then we still need 5. Now, is it possible that this is a triangle? Yes, it could be a triangle, and we still haven't really looked at that really. So I would say, I'm not a big expert on triangles, but I mean, we do have a triangle right there. So it's not a contracting triangle, it's a descending triangle, which is not the greatest triangle, but it could still mean a bullish move, right? But every wave would have to be 3. So if that's 3 and 3 and then 3, and then somehow that's 3 and then that's 3. Now, does it matter if it broke the low? I mean, it's a little bit of a gray area there. I know there's a specific rule and guideline, but I've honestly seen it both ways. So I'd prefer it not to break the low, but if it had a wick and a strong bounce off of it, that could be a good thing. So anyways, so basically if this is an A, B, C, D, E, it's a triangle. And then what we could see, what we would want to see, and this would be the most bullish opportunity right here, is just a big 5-way move off that low. Break above that, get a nice 3-way pullback, and then let's go party. So it'd be something like that, which would be essentially the third idea, right? So we have 3 ideas total. So super small time frames, I mean, you got a little bit of a 3-way move there. A lot of times if this is going to keep going, great, but it's already off, it's already up, guys. XRP is up 6% off that low, which ain't too bad. So, but we could play around here. We have a big wick, so a lot of times what it likes to do is it'll test 50% of that wick on the drawdown, and then it'll play around down there. So all right, we got to keep moving here. Let's go to Bitcoin. Spitcoin. Spitting on everyone's face today, huh? So Bitcoin still looks good. I mean, there's no problems, like XRP, it fell all the way to the low. So, Bitcoin is definitely stronger right now. We have 3. We have a flat here. And if this is a 5-way move and a 3-way pullback, we could keep going. I don't know if that's the case. So we're kind of in the middle here. So if you take the low and you take the high, where are we? We're right in the middle, guys. So there's really nothing to go off of, except we have to see if this holds, right? And this is a very important area. Why is it an important area? Because you have all of this, you have this, you have this, and that's right where we're at. So you also have a trend line here. Let's see if I could draw it. And let's go to regular. And if we take this trend line and we start it right there, and then we go all the way up, you could see, we're getting completely rejected in here. And we've came a long ways. So boom, 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 boom. I mean, that could be the reality here. This could be over with, right? Something like that. A leading diag. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A, B, C. It would actually be A, B, C like that if it was really technical, but I don't like charting stuff like that. It's too big. It just doesn't really make a lot of sense. So yeah, it's just not, we're also on a 2-month 9, and next month we're going to get a 9. So that's very dangerous. 3-month. We just had a 3-month 9 prior to that. So you know, is what it is, ladies and gentlemen. So let's zoom in here. Let me look at this. So we had a pretty big drop, you know. So, you know, kind of like similar to this drop. So let's see if we can get another spike to the high. I mean, there's really nothing going on here. Here's the other idea. Ready? So this could be A, B, and then C. So we have 3 waves down. What we could be doing here is 3 waves up, and then 5 or 3 down, and then go up. So it'd be something like that. 3, 3, 5, or 3, 3, 3, go. So that's kind of the idea I'm leaning on right now, is something like that. All right, well, let's take a look at some other coins here. XLM, yeah, it looks like a pile of crap. I mean, because I don't like the descending triangle. I mean, dude, what's up with that? We got to get this thing, you know, descending triangles. Look at this. A descending triangle, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so bearish breakout often cited around 54 to 67%, while percentages vary by, you know, I'm just trying to give you the percentages here. So the good thing about the descending triangle is it's not coming from a downtrend. It's coming from an uptrend, which is good. So it does have the trend going for us, but let's zoom out a little bit further. And let's put this on log. So yeah, man, it's just kind of one of those things. Let's see if we hold this low here. If this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then this could be A, B, and or A, B, and then C. A, B, C. And then go up. So we could have another scare. If this is a bearish week, then we would want to see Wednesday and Thursday complete that move to the downside. All right, let's scan around here. ADA. So we had 5 waves, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we have 3, and then we have 3, and then is this 3 here? Is this 3, 3, 3? Is it done? Is that a 1 and is that a 2? I don't know. It just doesn't seem like it's done to me. It's possible. You know, it's you know, we have 3 down, we have 3 up, and then we have 3 down. It's very possible that this could be finished, and we could keep going up. Or if this is 3, and then we get 3, and then we get 3, and then go up. I just want to see if we hold these lows in here. If we get a 4 and a 5, that's okay. Definitely don't want to break that low. Ethereum, we looked at that. Let's look at SHIB, and we'll look at Theta. So SHIB and Theta are actually not bad. They're not that bad. The reason why they're not that bad is because of where they're at overall, which is what? Which is basically inside of this massive base down here, right? We had this 3-wave move. And now we're basically in accumulation. So what I like about it is this. So you could literally say that this is an impulse, this is an A, and then we shoot up, that's a B. And you know what? SHIB actually looks like the clearest. And then now we're coming down for C. So A, B, C. And then we go up and then do something like that. So that would be kind of the main idea for the bulls, something like that. Same thing with Theta, I believe. Yeah, look at Theta. Same thing. Theta doesn't look too bad here. You know, I'd still expect a little bit more down, but you basically, look, just look at this for a second. Look, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You have 5 waves down. Massive crash, right? You have bullish divergence at the low, and then what happened? You have this impulse off the low, and then you have A, B, and now we're getting C. A, B, C. So as long as we hold these lows down in here, we could freaking shoot up massively. And I still believe that's the case. I believe, and I've said this many, many, many times on many different videos, this is not financial advice. I could be totally wrong. I could be totally, totally wrong. So just know that. But it's my belief, and I believe that we will get back up here at some point. And you could say, well, that's really not helpful. That could be 10 years down the line. No. Well, what I mean is, I think we'll get up here once this resolves itself. So either we break out and we get it, or we hit the low and then we get it. I mean, it's got to be one of those two. If it's not, then we got bigger problems to worry about. So, because the worst case scenario, this is 1, 2, all of that is 3, all of this is 4. We still need 5 and then go up. But I don't think so. I don't think so. I mean, you're right. You got some support there. We really want to see a retrace. So I will look at Theta Fuel. I will look at Theta Fuel. It's going to be the same thing, really, but I'll still look at it. I mean, yeah, I really want to see 5 waves. I don't know if I have it quite yet. You got like a 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Could be 4, 5. So what we could do, trend-based fib extension. A 1-to-1, you're looking at like 62 cents. Take that wave, match it right there. That's kind of where you're looking at. Boom. So that would be a 1, and that would be a 2. And if we put a line right there, a lot of times, so wave 2s, so we always talk about impulses, but you know, a wave 2, a lot of times retraces could be up to 90% of wave 1. So you could just ask, in Elliott wave theory, wave 2 retraces significant portion of wave 1, typically between 50 to 61%. I think it could be more than that, especially in crypto. But basically, yeah. So if you got Google, you know, you could basically just ask any question and it'll explain it. So what I buy here, well, I would be dollar cost averaging, that's for sure. I mean, we had a pretty big drop. Let's see, we dropped from this wave, we've already dropped 20%. So anytime you drop 20% from the low, I mean, that's an automatic buy. I mean, that's a buying opportunity right there. Doesn't mean it's going to be the low, but you're buying for the future. You're not buying to get rich right away. You're buying to get a discounted price so that when it eventually goes up, you have something to show for, right? You didn't just, you know, wasted this good price for nothing, because we are at support, right? You could see support, 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 support. So a very key area, but you have 2 deviations down here, which could be a buying opportunity at some point. So Litecoin, oh man, Litecoin. So Litecoin, you know, you could have 3 down, you have 3 up, and then we still have to go all the way down and 3 and then go up, which would suck. But I hope that this is a 1, 2, you know, 1, 2, and then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1, 2, 1, and then look at this, A. I don't like this B, but whatever. And then we come down for C. So just like here, A, B, C. 1, 2. So that's kind of what I would like to see. You know, you got a 5-way move. Let's get a 3-way pullback. This right here could be a flat. It could shoot up like this and then give us a B wave like that and then come down and C. So this is a bearish engulfing candle. This is very bad so far. But if we flip it upside down and remove our biases, it looks incredibly bullish, meaning bearish. I mean, look at this. You know, especially right here. I'm sure that's bearish divergence, right? You kind of shot up, you flagged out, and then you broke out. So this looks like something like that, but then I would expect to come and retrace it again. Other than that, everything is just fine and dandy. No problems. Does look very bearish. This one does. I mean, a lot of times what happens, guys, is you'll have a big move. It'll come down. It'll accumulate. And then what happens is you slam the low and then go up. And remember, we talked about that too with Wyckoff. This could still be a Wyckoff situation. I can use SHIB or Theta as that example. I'll just use Theta. Where's it at? Where it is. So this could be still a Wyckoff situation, meaning we have our spring pattern. You know, for example, let's take a look at this right here. And I could just do a screenshot real quick. And then let's add that. So there we go. You could see, here we go. And it looks actually really good. This is a good example here. So what we have, let me get my polyline here. So we have this 3-wave move up, right? Okay. So we'll stop that. Same thing here. We have a 3-wave move up. And then look what happened. We went down in 5 waves. I'll just put a line down. 5 waves. Look at this. We got 5 waves down. I'll put a line right there. And then you can see we broke the low, right? So let me put a line there. You can see we broke the low. And then what did we do? It looks like we came up in 3 waves all the way up to the top, but we didn't quite break the top. So I'll put a line right there. Okay? And you look what's going on here. This is what really interesting to me. This is very interesting to me, is what's going on right now. You could see all of this creek in here. This is probably what's going on. This creek. So we have boom, creek, spring, boom, creek. Follow me here, spring. And then we have a big liquidation, even bigger liquidation, right? And then we pop up and then we go to the moon, guys. Let's go. Okay, that would be the main idea. If we keep breaking this low here. So if we break this, I would imagine we get something like that. Now, it doesn't have to be a spring. It could be a little bit different. It could be it'll be a spring, but it doesn't have to break the low. For example, it could be something like this, and then we kind of cup in here, and then, you know, something like that. And, but essentially, there we go. So, all right, guys, I think that'll do it. Let me look at Theta Fuel, and let me look at Link. Whoa, Link looks sexy. I like Link. I like it a lot. You know why I like it? Because it has that nice looking shape, guys. I love the shape of it. It's got a very nice shape. I don't know if it's finished. We have 3 down, we have 3 up, we have 3 back down. We have a very nice 3-wave move. It could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just be aware of that. But nonetheless, we have a very nice, look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A, B, C. So it looks like it's got to go down a little bit. I'd like it to go down a little bit more to make it make more sense. So if we put a trend-based fib extension from the top to the bottom, back to the top, did we make it to the 1-to-1? No, we didn't. I would be putting some buy orders at $19.60, not financial advice. I could be wrong. We could go to 0, but there we go. And that would make sense because that would be sort of a back test here, right? Breakout, violent back test, V bottom, right? So let's see if we get that V bottom. HBAR. HBAR's been hanging out at the bar too late at night and it's hung over. HBAR does not look that nice to me. It doesn't look as nice as the other one. So we do have an impulse. We do have a three-way pullback. But what the hell is that? It kind of ruined the way it looked. So I'm just kind of like, I don't know. Did it break the low? Yeah, it did. Did we get bullish divergence? No, of course not. What about on the daily? I don't think it matters on the daily because, you know, yeah, we do have it a little bit, but really not. So, yeah, it's, you know, one thing I did not consider is what if this is part of the three-way move? So we have, yeah, I just don't like it though. So we have like, we have 3 down, we have 3 up, and then we have this big wonky 3 down. And then you could say W, X, Y, X, Z. All right, I like that. Okay, that makes sense. W, X, Y, X, Z. So that would be a triple correction. Something like this. And it could be over. It could be already finished. So that's something that's a very real possibility. So I think this video is, I think what we touched on was amazing. If you could like this video, that would be awesome. I think this video deserves a like. I think we covered a lot of stuff. So ICP real quick. See, it's the same thing as ICP. Remember what we talked about where we had 1, 2, 3, and then we kind of played around, and then you break the low, and then that ends up being the low. And I can prove that on Bitcoin right here. Look, this is exactly, this reminds me of a lot of what's going, oh guys, look at this. This reminds me of where we were back in the day. It's basically as ICP is right, let me get my handy dandy arrow right here. This is where ICP is. So it hasn't quite made it completely, but that's where it is. Right? And you can see the descending triangle. It kind of plays around a little bit. You know, you had a big massive dump and then you hit the low and then you go up. But it's a fake out. It's a trap. It's a trap. Okay, so go back. Let's see. So if we apply that to something like theta, you know, we could still come down here and then go up, and this would be a trap. It'd be a bear trap. So ICP is already giving us that potential, right? In which case you would say 1, 2, 3. This whole thing is 4, and now we're getting 5. And you could see it looks like a bear flag too, right? So if that's the case, then where could this thing go? I don't really know how I would want to. Okay, so from here to there to there. Look at that. We're right at the 1-to-1. Oh man, my eye is killing me. Like the bottom of my eyelid is all red and puffy and it's like sore. So yeah, if we could just kind of finish here and then kind of do something like this, I mean, that would essentially be literally what Bitcoin did. So AVAX, despite all odds, this was the only one I held my long on, and I'm glad I did because AVAX ain't even affected at all. AVAX is like, what's going on, guys? Why are you guys hung over? I'm over here sitting good, drinking some orange juice while you guys are all hung over. Like, what the hell's going on? So AVAX looks great, and this is we need this. We need something to look good because we want something. Oh wow, we need some bullish looks, right? So this looks interesting. You got, you know, a flat, a breakout, a bull flag, breakout, violent back test. Let's see if we get the V bottom recovery. Very interesting. I like the way that looked. You basically broke out and you back tested it. I mean, AVAX looks nice. AVAX looks nice. So, yeah, we need more of those. We need more of those. XRP, it looks sketchy. It looks sketchy, but I'm not going to lose complete hope on that. I really want this low to hold. Go back and watch the beginning of the video for the XRP analysis. Man, it's already a 51-minute video. Monero looks okay. Basically, everything's going to look the same. You know, this looks like... That looks like a three-way move there. So if you have 3 waves up, 3 waves down, you could get 3 waves and it could be a bigger 3. And that's what it looks like it could be doing here. Near looks okay. I mean, look, you had 5 waves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This could be A, this could be B, this could be C, and then we go up. It's not that easy though, guys. So Theta Fuel looks like it's in some trouble, but it's basically doing the, you know, one of these guys, it looks like. I mean, doesn't that look extremely similar? I mean, you got boom, 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 boom. And then you come all the way up, and then you creak, 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 slam the low. Creak, 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 slam the low. And then you turn around. Hopefully we turn around, and then we go up. I mean, dude, that looks awesome. I think we got... I don't think anybody else on YouTube is sharing this. I don't know. Maybe they are. I'm not sure. But I feel like we got it in the bag. I feel like we have our bases covered. Now, if this goes way below this low, we could break the low, and it looks like it wants to. But if we go way below it, then we'll have to look at it a little bit differently. Because either it's Wyckoff accumulation, or it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So either way, I think we should get a retrace between winter and spring. You know, we're going to enter the most bullish phase of the market, which is what? November, October, November, December, January, February, March, April. Those are usually the best months. October, you could say Uptober. You know, this is still kind of coming down. Let's take a look at XRP versus Bitcoin. Okay, so this could give us a little bit of a different insight here. It looks a little bit better. It doesn't have that ugly descending triangle look to it. It's got more of a... Well, actually, maybe I take that back. Yeah, you do have that descending triangle look, but you got A, and then you got B, and then you can get C here, and then something like that. So we want to... I don't know. I still think there's a lot more potential for more downside coming up here soon. So one thing we need to look at is Bitcoin dominance. I just gotta. So Benjamin Cohen, big guy on YouTube, says, I think Bitcoin dominance is forming low and will start trending back up late September and basically all of October. Damn. Well, let's take a look here. I mean, I don't see any analysis on why he thinks that. There's, I mean, yeah, I could see that. You know, we could come back up and retest it as resistance, but I still think we would go down, and that makes sense where we're at in the market. So let me look at the chart. So it does look pretty interesting at the moment. We have major bullish. No, wait. No, we don't. We don't have bullish divergence. Not on that time frame. Let's go to the 12-hour. Oh yeah, on the 12-hour, we got massive from here to there. Yeah, so let's take a look here. So I do think we will go back up. I think it needs a retrace. So we did have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's plenty of waves. That's a 7-wave crashing structure. So what typically happens after that is you get a pump, and then this sags down a little bit, and then it comes back up. And then from there, hopefully we go back down. So this could mean terrible for alts for the next several months. I mean, hopefully not. We'll see. So let's zoom out a little bit more. I mean, hopefully it's just a round, hopefully it's just something like that, and it's quick. But anyways, that'll do it for this channel, or this video. Look at dog. That looks pretty good, actually. It kind of gives me that falling wedge look. Does it not? It gives me the falling wedge look, does it not? Yeah, I mean, we have... This could be a diag. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we have 3, 3, and then 5. So A, B, C. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1. I mean, that looks pretty damn good to me. I don't know about you, but I mean, we're going to need evidence that that's what it is, right? We're going to need some kind of evidence that, you know, we want to see. But at the moment, it looks pretty rock solid. So, let's see. Let me just look around here. We looked at Link. Link looked pretty good. XRP dominance. So USDT dominance is the problem. So, yeah. So this could be, if this, you know, if this kind of comes back up here, you know, that would be kind of bad for alts. So let's hope it breaks down. All right, XDC, not really anything there. You know, we just have to wait and see. The dollar, I know gold is probably on a tear right now. You know, the dollar could be about finished, guys. Look at the dollar made another low with major bullish divergence. So this is a little bit concerning for crypto investors right now, because look at this. We don't really know what Trump has planned, but look, we have an impulse. We have 3 waves down. We have 3 waves up, and then we have 3 waves down, guys. So this could mean blast off for the dollar. So that would be, I don't know, that would suck. And it, you know, it makes sense too, because I guess gold would be up there. XRP versus Ethereum looks like it's trying to catch its breath. Definitely got a 3-way pullback. But look at gold. Gold is blasting off massively. So that's a beautiful thing. Silver, wow, silver is about to hit $50. So the gold, so Peter Schiff is like, right? That's what we're hearing from Peter Schiff. So yeah, don't sell your gold, don't sell your silver. Just pass it down to your kids, man. Don't sell it. Don't. I mean, silver and gold is, to me, is not really an investment. It's more so like just protection, you know. But man, silver has printed the largest cup and handle in human history. There's no cup and handle that is bigger than silver. Silver is going to be one of the biggest trades ever. So if this thing blasts off, I should have bought more damn silver, man. I have to do an inventory check to see how much silver I actually have. I have no idea. Alright, guys, that'll do it for this. Let me just take one more look at XRP. Of course, it's starting to come down a little bit more. Yeah. That's a pretty big dump there. So let's see how it plays at these lows. So anyways, not financial advice. Let's see what happens. Then I will catch you guys on the next one.